Well, greetings, everyone. So happy to be here today. We are in a place right now where Yahweh is just doing something in us, causing us to desire more of Him, to be in tune more with Him. And we want to encourage you today to be in tune with Him. We were going to talk about Isaiah 61, but we won't be talking about that today, I don't think. What we will be talking about, we'll just continue to encourage. And we want to encourage the young mothers today. And let's get started. So, as you know, some of you do and some of you don't. My name is Leslie Montgomery, and you are tuned into LKM Kingdom Living, Leslie's Lessons Learned. And we are just excited to be here today. And, I have to look in my mirror, and when I look in the mirror, uh, I was thinking about this week and how, you know, it's a good thing we have mirrors. If you think about it, the other day, let me tell you this story. Ashley said, "Come on and ride with me to pick up Marquise." I said, "Okay." Jumped in the car. Happened to look in the mirror. My hair was all over my head. I was like, "Oh my goodness!" But if I didn't have a mirror, I would have never seen the imperfections of the way I was looking. So, you know what? It's a good thing we have mirrors. It's a good thing that they were created for us to see ourselves right where we are. And as I see myself, and like I used to look in and talk about the crow's feet and all that, but I'm just so grateful that when I see myself now, I see the grace of the Father. And in that grace, I see something beautiful come into being. And for those of you that look in your mirror day after day, get up, taking hard breaths, saying, "Is life worth living?" Or "What's the purpose of my life?" I want to encourage you to keep living. I want to encourage you not just to keep living, but I also want to encourage you to understand that you're in a place now that it might be. I heard someone saying the other day about being in a place where Yahweh was changing them. And in that place, and I get like this sometimes, it's lonely. In that place, it's lonely. Sometimes I'm sad. I'm not always upbeat and happy, but sometimes I'm sad in that place, but he's doing something in me. And if I don't understand that, I'm going to falter it and go decide to do it my way. I want to encourage you, if you feel like you're in a place, you can sense him doing something, but you're not sure what it is, don't move. Be still and see his salvation, because he's doing something in you that he can get it out of you for someone else. So be encouraged today. Greetings to everybody before Minister Wanda comes forth. Pastor Daphne and Sister Doreen and Lady Linda and Sister Dana and anyone else that's on. Greetings. We're just happy that you're here. Take a moment, hit that like sign, subscribe, and share, and so that others can hear what we got to say today. Minister Wanda, how are you?
I am well this morning. So happy to be here with you. Happy to see another day. And um, we are grateful for mirrors sometimes, and sometimes we're not. We can look in the mirror and see so many imperfections. Like I'm sitting here and there's like one piece of hair,
Sticking
even
up.
waves, one piece of hair that keeps sticking up. And that's what we do. Instead of seeing the beauty of the
It's
hairstyle,
gorgeous.
thank you. We pick that one thing that is just gonna bother us, right? But somebody might be doing that and picking out the negative things and saying, you know what, I'm done. It's over with. I don't feel like life is worth living. And I want you to know It's Leslie and I want you to know this morning that life is worth living and that a world without you is like a world without color. Now, if you look at your screen, you'll see that Miss Leslie has on black and white and these beautiful red glasses that make her black and white pop. And I have on orange, and behind me is a splash of yellow, my favorite color, y'all.
I
Uh,
might too.
Yay! So splashes of color. But imagine what life would be like if all of this was just black and white and gray. You wouldn't be able to see the beautiful colors that bring pop and a splash of brightness to the screen. And I want you to know that that is what the world would be like without you. A world without you is like a world without color. Now, I want everybody to say that with me. Come on, everybody say it.
Okay.
Our life
A
with
life
me
without me
is like a world without color.
is like a world without colors.
And just in case you can't say it, I'm going to say it for you. Listen, life without you is like a world without color. And we need your unique color because guess what? Nobody can replace your color. Yahweh has made us unique in our own right, and each of us bring our own splash of color to the world that makes it a beautiful place to be. And without your color, that portrait, that picture, that painting is incomplete. So we need you to hold on, hang in there. And there is something else that we like to talk to you about this morning. Ms. Leslie's going to tell you about that.
Maybe not, because here comes Apostle.
Okay.
Our dear Apostle is here. Welcome, Apostle.
And shalom to each and every one of you. I'm so glad to be with you guys this morning. It's been a little bit rough, traveling like I've been traveling, but we're glad to be here with you guys this morning. I'm sure you guys have prayed.
Yes, we prayed before we came on. We were just encouraging everyone to know that they're needed, and that in this time, and well, not so much this season, but in this time and era of life, a lot of people need to know that. One of the things I like to say is that that video I seen, and the man was on the street, and he had a sign, and he was blind, sitting on the street, and the sign said, "I'm blind, I can't see." This young lady walks by and comes back with a pen. She flips it over. She said, "It's a beautiful day, but I can't see it." So many of us are going through things right now in an era and a time where we can't see the beauty. And I'm saying we, but not we per se. The the world is so shifting and making so many different changes, and we're not in a place where we were prepared for it. A lot of people, and a lot of people are like doom and gloom. They don't know what they're going to do, and they are saying, is life worth living? Some are thinking about taking their lives. But we want you to know that in spite of all that's going on, life is still beautiful, that there's still a place that you can find safety, and that's in the Father. So Apostle, we welcome you. Apostle is our pastor. I want everybody to know we do have a pastor, and
What's
that
so special?
and that he's here with us today. We really appreciate him being here. A lot of you know him, a lot of you don't know him. A lot of you have asked me, who is he? He has great wisdom and knowledge, and we're just so grateful that we get to sit under that knowledge week after week and get insight on the word even more and more. One of the things that he's apostle of many churches. He's a pastor of Darash Kingdom Ministries. We have broadcasts on, well, right now we're on break pretty much from the Proceeding Word, but we have Proceeding Word on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays during the daytime. During the week, we also have Bible study Wednesday night. And on Thursday, Minister Wanda, we have Bible book club. So we are always in the Word. I must say that we are always in the Word. And after he gets off of here today, we have the morrow after Sabbath service.
Correct.
And so we would invite you at any time to be a part by going to VW J Ministries. You can find it there. You can go on Clubhouse. What's it, Clubhouse, YouTube? You can find Apostle V.W. Jones. So please, if you're desiring more and you'd like to know more about the Word, join us. So, Apostle, I had asked you to come on to talk about Isaiah 61, which is such a more powerful read since I've learned and studied now and seen how much more in depth it is than just saying the Spirit of the Lord is upon us. And I was wondering, I don't even know if we'll have time to go over to Luke, the 4th chapter, where it talks about the fulfillment of it, how Yeshua comes and those type of things. But I want to put it in your hands now so that you could take us further.
Okay, how about we put this whole program in Elohim's hands? How about we do that? Is that all right?
Oh.
Where 2 or 3 are gathered together. Of course, we know that means in Shabbat, but since the church uses it, we're gonna steal it from them. Where 2 have been gathered together in his name, the name of Yahweh our Elohim. He is in the midst of us, but of course that is for Shabbat, that is for the Sabbath. And this is the morrow after Sabbath. The 2 don't meet. But I was trying to be churchy, I blew it. So we're just gonna let that be. We're gonna put it in Yah's hands. How about we do that? His
How
time.
about that?
But we are going to come together, the 3 of us, being on one accord, to see that his will is done, heard, and understood before the masses of this world, before the master of this world returns. I do want to do one thing, if you don't mind. I've been trying to find the actual link for this broadcast. It was sent to me by one of the 2 of you, because I wanted to send it out to a group that we studied with on yesterday. And if someone could do that while we're doing this, technology can be great. Today it's doing okay, so we're not going to mess around and turn nothing around on it. But I'd like to be able to send it to them while we're doing broadcast. And matter of fact, maybe one of you could aid that. I don't know if it can be sent. Minister Wanda, you are the real technical person of us all. The announcement for this broadcast could go to the WhatsApp group that we study with, the new one set up that I'm looking to delete. But before I do that, let's just shoot them a shot. Is that possible?
It's done.
Hey, glory. Hey, I'm sorry, my bad. I just feel good to be sitting back. Been traveling all over this country for the last couple of weeks. And yeah, I'm so grateful to Yahweh to be here. But I wanted to reiterate something that you'd brought up, Prophetess Leslie. You and Elder Wanda are to be not praised, but given appreciation. I was thinking about this on the flight back while we were stuck on the tarmac, and I was looking over my schedule, and I realized that I was supposed to be here with you guys. But Elder Wanda it's really early where she's at, and it hit me because I was doing with trying time zones. And the level of consistency, I should even say persistence, that goes with people don't know what it. Some do, some don't. Most think they do. Most really have no clue. It's just a cute thing when you're doing a little pop up here, a pop up there. But to be consistent, I know too well, outside of your time zone with a program that makes you get up 2 a.m. in the morning to do it. When you just got to bed, probably knowing her at about 12:30, and then same with you, Prophetess Leslie. Your consistency to the programming that has been put forth as this beautiful podcast does not, though you'll never hear other people tell you. And the reason I'm telling you is because I live this life. It's thankless. People just expect it. They talk that it's a blessing, have no desire to sort of support it. But you know that this is something you wouldn't not do because it's your lifestyle. It is appreciated. Your efforts, your work, the time you put in to put the programs together, associate with the different guests that you have. I just wanted to take a moment. I don't have, all the flowers, but today I want to extend on behalf of Darash Kingdom Ministries, covered by VWJ Ministries Worldwide, and myself, Apostle VW Jones, its own brand. We'd like to say, though I cover you, I glean and earn so much from our times together. And if it blesses me, and if people ever took the time to appreciate the efforts you all have put forward, I know for a fact it will bless them. And so I don't want you guys to even think that you're just doing it and it becomes mundane. I so appreciate this platform that the two of you are working together at this stage to produce, that the people of this world have opportunity to know the God of this world, Yahweh, our Elohim. And I just want to say before I start, thank you for giving me a place I can come to, and not just to teach, but I also listen in and learn. And I only pray that Elohim elevates this program the way you all elevate his name.
Thank you.
My earnest prayer.
Thank you.
You're ladies of elegance and excellence and kingdom intelligence. All right. So may Yahweh bless you is my earnest prayer.
Bless you too, Apostle.
Bless you too, sir. Thank you.
So with Isaiah 61, let me also back down into digress into something that Prophetess Leslie brought up. Elder Wanda, I didn't get a chance to hear what you had said, but I'm sure it was something interesting. But there was the comment. I was in in one of the airports somewhere, and I was walking and sort of kind of in a little bit of a rush because I don't do connecting flights, and unfortunately, my administrator could only get in a connecting flight, and first class has its privileges, so they sort of kind of make you get where you got to be, and they take care of you and wait on you. But I was rushing through, and something said, slow down. And I did. I slowed down. And as I slowed down, for whatever reason, I just did. I was on I have a fast walk, and I just slowed down. I thought it was to look at something that was coming on television, the news, big screen TV. So I glanced over. I looked at it, read the words, couldn't hear the words. But then I'm like, well, okay, keep moving. There wasn't anything. But then as soon as I took my face off of the screen while walking, out of the restroom came individuals. And one of them said on the back of their shirt, you may have seen this, to the person walking behind me, the world is better because you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was apropos for the statement that you had made as I was able to connect online. And it is better with every person in the world that's in the world right now. And Elohim had a plan when he made this world. And Elohim is strategic in his business plan. Unlike us, we are not as consistent to it as we should be. But we think that people are just born because they are. Every person on this planet, and to the rest of the viewing audience, you were designed to be in time in this moment. And though it might be a bumpy road sometimes, though there may be floods that are swaying around you, though there may be winds blowing off your rooftops, though there may be troubles within your heart because of choices of relationships we chose to get into, does not negate the fact that there is an actual need that you were plugged into this cog of Elohim's plan to move this world towards his plan. The issue is finding and knowing your calling. The world put us into a construct all of us were born into. We call it the box. And as we were all born into this box, whatever country or monarchy we are a part of, or government we're a part of, or church affiliation we are a part of, we think that that model, that vision of government, of that box structure, is why we were made and how we should aspire to reach heights within. But the box is limited. And so the moment we come out of the box to realize that this box was made by another human just as important as you are, they just happen to find a way to corral people around being herded into that box. When we realize that we have the ability to create our own box because Elohim had a reason for putting us in this earth, and that purpose is what we should be seeking for. And when we search for that, the concept of what we're talking about today, liberation, appears, because now you're no longer in the box. You're not freed from the box, but now you're liberated from the box altogether. You are here for purpose. Finding it is what the enemy of faith and the enemy of your life has caused to be very cloudy. Obstacles, darkness, people pulling you away from that purpose, that cause, that process. And the moment you stand on his word, just stand, having done all, just stand on his word. All these blessings, as you go on the path of that word, will come upon you, will overtake you, will empower you. And the famous thing we like to say as Christians, I love what we do. Oh, the Paracletes. He walks with me and he talks with me. He tells me I am his own. And the interesting thing, for those of you in this conversation piece, is that he can tell us we're his own, but we keep telling him we're on our own. And we think because we sang it, we said it, that he's going to bless our own will. The truth is, he has a will for you that we need to own. I hope you didn't mind the play on words, but I think it served the purpose of understanding you're all due for liberation. And the purpose for why you live in the earth is not your own. You were not a mistake. Daddy and mommy in the back of the Chevelle, mommy and daddy in the back of the VW, mommy and daddy in the back of the Suburban, at prom night or on date night or at the hotel or, at the speakeasy, having a good time and coming home and having a child by mistake. No child is a mistake. Every child is destined to be in earth at this time and grow in his will and leave this earth on his appointed time. The question is, have we searched for what our purpose is and what we've been appointed for? That's what makes life unbearable and in many people's eyes, untenable. But when we search and stand on his word that made the world and made you and I, Elohim's guiding light, it was not just a soap opera. His guiding light will put you in a position to see where you're supposed to head. And if you're suffering with wanting to leave this world, as I did 3 times, if you're suffering with wanting to give up and just end it all, or believe that no one sees you, no one cares for you, I need you to know that one is seeking for you. And when he finds you, you allow yourself to be found. The world will see more than what we say in that song. this little light of mine. Because when you and I, as I have come to live, search for him rather than what we want, he shows you what's for us as he desired, and your life will never be the same. And the box you were mentally and culturally born within, ethnically born within, religiously born within, will be obliterated. And now you have the shackles off my feet, and I actually can dance. You will be able to dance. I hope that I didn't take up too much of your time with that spiel, but I find and sense by Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, you know, the one that walks alongside of us, he walks with me and he talks with me, that there are some of you right now who, like I used to be, and probably others on this platform, just wanted to give up. I made the effort to end my life 3 times. And now I don't want to leave here until he tells me it's time to go. And I don't have to have a hand in that. I just need to keep living until my battery is no longer charged. It's a big difference.
It's a big difference, Apostle, and it is well needed, especially like I said, in this time with all that's going on, and people don't have hope. People don't know what to do, and they need to be encouraged. Some people are thinking about, it's nothing else I can do with all that's going on. I'm just going to end it. And that is not, as you said, the purpose and the plan of the Father. And yes, excuse me, it's very needed in this time as the world turns, you know.
Yeah. And then if we take his guiding light as this world turns, we'll never end up in the general hospital. And we will become literally the bold and, my God, the beautiful. Because you'll be able to enter boldly into his throne room and ask for whatever grace you want. It's not a saga. It's not some play. And I have to give acknowledgement to this. As I grew up learning and living with my mother and all her associates who watch these daytime soap operas, to the point where they literally navigated the culture we live in. I found out that the enemy of our faith knew precisely what he was doing with the naming of programs, the naming of songs before the revelation of his word could come out, which were directly related to his word. And so we found or felt that the enemy of faith made it so that we would never see it clearly, because the soap operas were a part of the Hellivision, and the Hellivision would cause us to get on the go tell that vision, y'all don't want to talk to me, and that tell the phone that this is what life was about. And then we aspired to what we saw on those programs, and they were miscuing and convoluting the actual power of the entitlements of their program. He is the guiding light. His Sabbath is, in general, our hospital. I'm sorry, we don't talk.
No, because to this week when I was thinking about that, and when I was thinking about it, I said, "Well, there's more to this than that." You know, for some reason, thinking about the soap operas and just realizing the names, and it's like, wait a minute, there's more to it than that. And if you feel like this is where Yahweh wants you to stay, please do. And we'll have you come back on and do 61, because there are people that are waiting for the conclusion of 61 that we started maybe a month or so ago.
Yeah.
But we need to be where Yahweh wants us to be.
And that's the thing, his plan, not our plan. And though the platform may open up, it is the invoking of his presence to guide us. Again, the guiding light.
Right.
And that puts us technically, when we're in his word, the word is the general hospital.
That's good. And as we get in his word and we get his word in us, then we realize that he is our guiding light. And as we walk this out, then he looks at us and says, look at all my children.
That part right there, all my children. And then we realize that we have a dynasty.
Come on.
And we can walk bold and beautifully into
Before him.
the dynasty. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh, because when you don't read the word, then you don't mature. So then now you're the young and the
And
rest.
restless. Just into any and everything.
Everything. Just being led by the enemy of your faith.
You know, and you know, and it can keep you from all those knots you landing on. You know, y'all didn't catch that. That was a nighttime.
Oh, not landed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it does directly connect to what is in fact the work of the enemy, whether it's in the songs. You know, we don't associate them in the church because of religiosity and churchiosity, because our mind says, if the world sang it, I got to be separate from the world. But if the world beat you to the revelation in order to keep you from the revelation, don't get it twisted. And, you know, I sit and I'll always, you know, talk about it, you know, certain songs that are entitled Now Walk It Out. But because of who composed it, remember, every song title, every movie title comes from some spiritual inspiration, right? And we know that Elohim is still reigning in the kingdoms of men, though they may not acknowledge him. And at end of day, when I hear songs, and it works in both planes. The Christian world has songs that are more associated to not serving God, and we sing as if we're serving God. And then the world has songs that are about serving God. Pretty much every love ballad is about the love for Elohim. We connected it to the love for a person, a woman, or whatever.
Come on.
But when I'm thinking right now, just talking about it, you know, songs come to my head. And when I'm teaching,
Absolutely.
for years I've been teaching, and I remembered getting saved. And let me say this before I forget this. I remembered getting saved. Remind me of Beyonce. But when I remembered getting saved, and I was so righteous and holy, a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. This is the day the Lord has made. Call him up and tell him what you want. Won't he make you clean inside? And the old hymns, how great is thy faithfulness, and all these songs I started to download into my psyche, and I would sing them. But then I would be out and remembering songs from my days of clubbing, my days from hoeing, and my days, I did all that stuff. My days of you know, contraband use, my days of just being worldly, because I wasn't an unhappy sinner. I really wasn't an unhappy sinner. Even though I tried to take my life 3 times, I was not unhappy in the sin I was doing. I was unhappy in the progress I was making. And it felt hopeless. But to the point, not to digress back into that, but to the point that the world has songs that are made for us to see Elohim, and the church has been duped into songs that we thought made us see Elohim, but keep us as far from him as possible, because they were not given by the inspiration of his word. They were given by the inspiration of the artist's talent. And that can be based on familiar spirits. So I remembered, being so saved and sanctified, when I came back to God, I think Elder Wanda, the one that does a little hair, she had made a statement several times that, when I really got saved, right? And so I was coming up in the church as a child, but when I really got saved and I came back to the Father after my attempts at suicide, and I found out that I had a real purpose, I just needed to find it. And I needed his guide to do that. And I just threw myself into the religious construct, the box. And in it, listened to the people that were supposedly cleaning the box and determining when the box was open and the windows were put up and the programmings were put on and the food was brought to the table, everything in the box. And I applied and I complied with everything in the box. And I would sing only what the box said to sing. I would say only what the box said to say. And it got to the point where I was oftentimes reminded while in the box, in my mind, of songs while studying in the box with an earnest for the God the box sold, that the God of the box would remind me of words that associated more to him than the songs in the box. And so I was going through something, and I was over, trying to take my life because now I got children, I got a wife, I got other things that matter more to me that I know I need to be here for. Let me be responsible. And I'm singing all these songs of Zion. I got them all down pat. I learned all the keys, all the riffs, all the cadences, all the compositions, all the authors. And as I was going through something and I got out of prayer, none of those songs came to mind. And I was desperate because my family we were down to like about, oh God, nothing in my bank account. And I got 2 growing, hungry children, a wife, another son that was, we were having court battles to bring him into my family. And we won, Yahweh be praised. But as a leader and a man and a responsible provider, I was in prayer, keeping the weight on my shoulders and off of my families. And, behind closed doors, I'm crying in silence. And the songs and the hymns of the church weren't coming to mind. Maybe pass me not, O gentle Savior, heed my humble cry, while on others thou art calling, please don't pass me by. Maybe, but then it made me cry. Like, I can't do it. But while I was in prayer this day with my family playing in the other room, while I was in my prayer and study time before service, a song from outside the box of the construct of my Christendom came. And the song says, and as I'm singing, trying to find these hymns to sing and hum, because when you go into this box, people teach you how you're supposed to pray. And you're supposed to just tarry. But this song broke through the window. And it was like, you ever been in your house and somebody's riding down your block and their music's in their car louder than anything going on in your house, and they're literally invading your privacy with this song? This song bust through the window. It was almost like they was breaking glass. And I heard the song by this artist in my head. And I remembered the lyrics of the song, and I just began to sing them in my time of prayer, because I'm like, Father, I need answers. The children need food. One of my cars got repoed at that time. Am I boring y'all with this?
No, because it's needed.
One of my cars was repoed at the time. We had no food for my children, none. We had what was in the cupboards. And my dutiful, resourceful wife at the time, and mother of my children, was making do with what was there. And I'm in the back like, Father, you got to provide. I need 2 fish piece and 2, 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish piece, miracle here. You know what I mean? Uh, and I'm praying and I'm trying to sing the songs of Zion, and I'm praying the prayer I was taught to pray, and no disrespect, but this song came in, and that song says, I'm coming out, doom, doom. I want the world to know. I got to let it show.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun. And in my box I lived in, I got up and started rebuking. At first I was singing like 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, whoa, stop, wait a minute. The devil is a liar. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of John. I'm going off, right? My wife comes through the door. She's like, my ex-wife, she comes through the door. She's like, what's going on? I said, this song keep coming to my head. And the song had been playing in my head all week long while I was at work. And it was just like a little, just that part. And you rebuked it then. But now I'm in the holy place of prayer. And this song had come in my head while I'm reading, how excellent is thy name. And I'm crying to you for an answer. And I never realized he was giving me the answer.
That's right.
Because the enemy of our faith got those words, connected them to something that was so secular, we were appalled in Christendom, and we would say we'd never use. And so, like the soap opera titles we gave earlier, and we call it a play on words, for me, I'm sitting there and I'm like, something's wrong, because I began to literally vehemently rebuke the devil that apparently had come into my mind while I'm talking to the God of my salvation. And I never realized that it wasn't the devil. It was Yahweh using what was in my memory banks to give me a message. Now, a movie called Transformers. In the movies, this fiction movie, there is this huge robot, good robot, right? There's the Autobots, they're good. Then there are the Decepticons. They're against the Autobots. They want to kill all the humans on the planet. The Autobots are trying to save it. The Decepticons are trying to destroy it and use it for their own resource and exploit it and all that. And so there's this one Autobot who is Optimus Prime. And under him are a bunch of other bots that follow his lead, but they all have their own strength and power and resource. One of them was called Bumblebee.
Come on, that's mine.
And Bumblebee had lost. Oh, Father, I'm gonna have to teach this again. Bumblebee lost his voice. All these bots could speak, right? But Bumblebee lost his voice. And the only way Bumblebee could talk was through his car radio. And his car radio, like yours, runs through all the different stations with all the different genres of songs and what have you. And Bumblebee figured out in his mind how to communicate. Though he lost his speaking voice, he could use the radio's projection to make his point. So he would stop at phrases and songs if he heard it while he scrolled the dials, and then he would catch a piece of a song or catch a piece of a radio program, a talk show, or a news flash, and use the words to piece together his sentence he wanted to make. And it's the same way for many of us, because when we lose our voice in the world, though we mean good, sometimes we think that silence and just actions are better. But this time I'm sitting there and Yahweh couldn't use the memory bank of Christian songs I had to answer my question. He scrolled the dial in my mind to find the station I listened to the most and used the lyrics from a song I listened to the most to tell me what he was going to do. Man, that's good. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm coming out. And I'm singing it in my head like it was a part of worship.
Yes.
And I realized, wait a minute, that's by Diana Ross, and that's the secular world, and the devil is a lie. I rebuke you, Satan. I'm saying, how dare you invade my space with God? My wife comes out there. She says, what are you screaming about? I said, this song keep being in my head from the devil. It's in, and this is me. I'm a grown man, right? I'm an executive in my company, and I'm going off before church because I was put in this box. And he says, the song was, I'm coming out, want the world to know, got to let it show. And it was like Yahweh using Bumblebee to talk to me. And when she heard it, she didn't hear the song. She heard me rebuking the song. She comes in, what's wrong? And I'm like, this song keeps being in my head all week. It just kept playing in pieces and pieces. And so for me, I'm down here, listen, I'm down here on my knees crying and begging God for something right now. But all week he was trying to tell me, you about to come out, bro. But because it was a secular song, I wasn't listening to it. Oh, y'all don't want to talk to me.
Go ahead.
And when I get into time and place, when I think I'm in my holy place, he gives me what's got the most space in my memory bank to draw from. And see, that's why if you're going to ever talk about Ruach HaKodesh, he walks with me, he talks with me. Don't forget his main job is to bring back to your remembrance the word. So Ruach is going to always bring back to your remembrance, unlike familiar spirits, your memory banks cache to project you forward. When the familiar spirits use your memory bank, they are to keep you still and put you back into the past and associate with all the emotions of the past. And then you feel that life is useless, futile. No effort you could make will ever get you through this. I never get a break. It never happens. I keep thinking about the past, and the past keeps feeding my future. But when Ruach takes you back into your past,
And for joy.
it's to trampoline you into your future.
Come on.
I didn't get it. And I was cutting the trampoline strings, talking about, I rebuke this song in the name. I mean, I was
I refuse to jump.
dying. Yeah, you know. And so when she comes, she said, well, what's going on? And she said, well, what song? I said, this song by Diana Ross. She said, wait a minute, which one? I said, I'm coming out. And she said, are you kidding me? That's the same song I've been hearing all week. And at that moment, it hit me. And not only did the window in my mind that broke to let this sound in, but that whole wall fell down. And that was the beginning of me being liberated from the box and the construct about the God I serve.
Come on.
Yeah.
Freedom and liberation.
Pesach and Shavuot.
Don't forget Beyonce.
Oh, thank you. And so my point to that was using the words of that song brought me out. And not long after that, I got another better job because at that time, that's what I was seeking. Car situation was fine, food on the family. And that same day, I had no food. That same day, with 3 children, 1 car half broke down, 1 car repoed the week before, no food in the refrigerator. And we just making do. You know, mayonnaise sandwiches is a real meal to some. Okay, I've had it, you know, and that's where we were. But that day, with no one knowing my situation, because I'm so private, you'll never know what I'm going through. You'll never ever know what I'm going through. Cardboard. It was wintertime. I had cardboard, like the box I had cardboard, like packing box cardboard. Because my shoes, money was so tight, I had run holes in the soles of my shoe. And I was putting cardboard in my shoe because it was brown and it looked like the leather that I had. And if it wasn't raining, you couldn't tell. Y'all don't want to talk to me. Y'all never lived the struggle life. I know. You women of glamour wouldn't know what that's about.
No, we wear shoes too little. That's what that is. Come on.
And so as I was doing that, and sing that song, that very day, we went out to go do street ministry with my children. I left that, and I jumped in the story, but let me jump and I'll digress back and we go to Beyonce. And so when it was all happening, I'm rebuking the devil. She comes in like, get out of here. That song been on my head too. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, pause. And I started thinking about it. And we ended up, I'm skipping, we ended up going out and doing our Saturday morning ministry, because I was over the ministry, the street ministry team. And I had to get all the choir people together and the other speakers and the tech team and everybody who carried the equipment and pick up the people in the van and carry the chairs and get the tents and get all the props in the van and get the people in the van and then travel to the spot and then drop them all off. That was a whole, we
That's
did
a process.
and I got children. But I love the Lord. It's the work of the Lord. And so as I'm doing this, I come home from doing all of that work, still pondering why that song popped into my head in the time of holy worship. And when I got to my back door, no one ever knew what I was going through, not even my mother or my father's. On my back door was 13 bags of groceries. Don't even ask me why. They were not No Frills brands. They were not the government cheese peanut butter. They were not the store brands. They were the brands I like, i.e. the spaghetti sauce was Prego because it's in there. You know, it was angel hair pasta. It was Purdue chicken. I'll never forget it. 13 bags were sitting on my porch. To this
That's
day.
not like what 13 bags look like today.
No, right? That part. That part. And this is a true story. For those of you who think that we just made this up and just going off the fly because we ain't got nothing to say, we got a whole bunch to say out of Isaiah 61 about your liberation. But I need you to understand this is a process of that as well. And so I'm on the back porch, and my children, they don't know, because daddy's always provided. We need something, it's going to be there. They don't know. I can't cry in front of them. They just run into the house. Hey, y'all come help me carry these bags in. My little son is in my arms, VJ, and I carry him in. My daughter, Ariana, she just jumping all over the stuff with her little dolls and stuff. And my son Asmar, like, dang on, daddy. So he's carrying the stuff in with me. My wife and the mother of my children at that time, we're putting stuff in the house. And I'm like, who, why, and when? To this day, I don't know who put those groceries on my back porch. Don't need to. I know who caused it.
That's right.
And this is a true story. This ain't something made up. This is why I'm who I am today. That day, that secular song and the lyrics within, I know were hidden in that type of songs genre to keep those of us in the box away from hearing those powerful words. And though y'all might like, what groceries got to do with I'm coming out? I want the world to know. Got to let it show. Because the very next week, new job, $20,000 more a year, closer to home, because I was traveling an hour and a half away to get to work and back, and still doing all the church stuff, opening, closing, shutting down, all of that stuff. And the Saturday street ministry, which is a 10-hour thing, easy, in a day with children, right? And then got to get up the next morning, go to church. And anyway, so this is what segues to Beyonce. I hope I made that clear for someone. Ruach, I hope that was clear. And after the groceries, after the reset of my life, it came from a song that was secular while I was in a high holy place. You know, the kind of holy place you take your shoes off. In my time of prayer, I got the Bibles, concordances, everything planned out. I got Yolanda Adams playing in the backfield. Open my heart. You know, I got CeCe BB Wine is singing. I got Marvin Sapp. I got Fred Hammond on Bless. Now you got all this white noise while you in the study, right? That's the kind of holy place I'm in. The children come in here, stay out. Daddy's in there. You might catch on fire. Come out here in the front room and play. You know what I mean? That was how intense my studies and stuff were, which is why I am who today. But that song broke in because none of what I had in this cachet was getting the point to me. And Yahweh used what was necessary to get the point to me. And what was used was hidden by the enemy long before I even could understand the value of a song. And the enemy knew that many of us would never associate that kind of thing with God because, be ye separate, saith the Lord, And I want to just let y'all know that your use of what the world has, everything in this world is for you. Your abuse of it is what makes it against you. Your understanding of it is what causes you to propel and project in the things of God, his way, the right way. Okay. And we've taken a whole hour on this, and I'm sorry. But even with the songs, like we did with the daytime soap operas and nighttime soap operas earlier. So if y'all got here late, go back and catch the beginning. We would stay away from that in the world today because we call that drama. But the church is so full of drama, it's worse than Dynasty, Dallas, Knots Landing, General Hospital, Boulder, all them things, right?
That's another hour right there.
Yeah, y'all got more drama than drama. Y'all got more drama than drama. And the point was being made here, and I'm going to conclude, is that I was years after that experience about I'm coming out. From that point, whenever I teach and I'm in a holy place and I hear a secular song, a hook, a vamp, maybe a verse, and I know I'm in a holy place, I know that's Elohim telling me outside the box and construct, this is what I'm saying to you. And you can't hear me because of this box. But I know you remember this. And I know all of y'all had flashbacks of a song. Y'all know when that song come on and you saved and sanctified and you traveling with your nieces. Y'all might be at the family reunion. You might be at the Thanksgiving dinner. You may be at a birthday party, a graduation party, and you trying to be saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled at the event where the food being served, but the DJ playing. And though you sanctified, you ain't drinking no wine. You got the little fake wine on your table because, we sanctified over here. Don't bring your when I do a toast, I want to toast with apple cider, sparkling. Apple, grape cider, sparkling grape cider. Don't bring me no champagne. We don't do champagne, honey. No, we don't drink. That's the devil. That's the devil.
We are saved to do.
You don't drink. You don't drink wine. That's the devil. Can I do a sidebar? Can I do a sidebar? That's the devil. We don't drink. We give a toast. It's going to be water, ginger ale, Sprite, or this apple cider. We don't drink wine. That's the devil. You're going to have to explain to me then why Yeshua made wine.
Right.
Now, I ain't trying to endorse nothing. I'm just talking about how misconstrued we are with our understanding.
Yeah.
The box. And so, you're sitting there, you're at this event, whatever it is, whatever the celebration is with your secular family friends who know you saved. They respect your salvation and your way of life, right? They don't smoke around you. They see you coming outside. They put the cigarette down. They tap it out, or they put the liquor behind their back. Hey, what up? But you still at the event. You go back inside and you sit at your sanctified table because the person who set the table seatings, they put the saved people who usually got teeth that got to come out to eat, and you got to sit there and deal with. Oh, and so uh, but the music is still playing, and the event is just not churchy. It's about everybody, and then you act like you so saved, and you got on your Polly and Esther. Y'all brought you got an invitation, and you didn't add your +2. But what you mean by +2? You brought Polly and Esther with you.
Stop that. Stop that.
Yeah. Burning up hot. Talking about I'm heat flashing. No, that's not a hot flash. That's Polly and Esther. Them tricks is a mess. Listen. So at the end of the day, you're sitting there doing all this, right? And then a song comes on. It could be Frankie Beverly and Maze, because at family events, that's always got to come on. We are one, that's my jam. You catch yourself and you go on, a couple songs go by and you're back to talking about, the family, how's Sally, how many children they got, and what's going on with Jim. And he got educated. Okay, he's out of school, he's graduating college. Awesome, that's great. And then your piece about God, they ask you to pray over the food. You pray over the food. And then after prayer over the food, and you're sitting down there and they're passing out desserts, and then they'll pop on another song, and before you realize it, you've got engaged in the environment, and then the song come on. You ain't thinking about God, and that jam from '84 come on. Been a long time since I left you. That's my jam, and it catches you. So my point to this, and I hope Prophetess Leslie and Elder Wanda, I have not disrespected y'all's platform here by this long drawn out testimonial, but don't think that the enemy of your faith did not know before you were supposed to be walking in faith that it would take words associated to your faith and shroud them in the secularness of this world, knowing you'd never go over there and cross that line to pull out what God has for you. And some of y'all say, I heard someone say, I ain't never getting married again unless God bring me the person, put him right in front of me, and then tell me he made the ring right there in front of me to put it on finger, and all this stuff that they do, right? And I'm like, okay, so God got to bring it down to you. Well, sometimes he does, and he did to me that day. And he hit me with them lyrics. He says, I'm coming out. I've been trying to tell you all week, I got you. And you still coming in here crying to me about the same prayer you've been praying all week, all month long. And I let you know last week, I humbled you. If you ain't listened, you don't know. I answered you, but you didn't hear me. So now that you're in my holy place, let me introduce you to a song. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it? Here you go. I'm coming out. Doom, doom. And I'm rebuking the devil for something Yahweh is yelling in my ear. Then confirms it by me walking out the door of my room into the next room, the living room, and she's saying, what is wrong with you? Why are you screaming back there? Who you rebuking? She thought I was on the phone. And then she says, I got that same song. I keep hearing it. I don't know why. I just keep hearing it. But we were at one accord in that time, and he was letting us know, I'm bringing y'all out. Don't worry about it. Y'all been faithful. I'm gonna bring y'all out. But we couldn't see it because it was wrapped and shrouded in the secularism of this world.
Yeah.
So many of y'all, after that stage, many years later, I really started digging deep into who he was in his name. And I was doing a Sabbath. And I was asking Yahweh, why don't we know your names? And this was before I started to rewrite the Bible and put the names of Elohim back in the Bible, which by end of year, we are pushing to have that revised for real. So be prepared for that to be coming out. I know many of you have been asking for it. But I was in prayer in Shabbat, and it was a Moedim. And it was in fact first fruits, HaKibikurim. And I remember the day, that I was teaching the people who were new to this, my physical congregation, brick and mortar church in Orlando. And it was then when I changed the name of the ministry from Crusaders for Christ, because of the name, to Daras Kingdom Ministries. And that was lit by this event. Beyonce had come out with a song that was killing the top charts. You know, I think this was even, it wasn't Beyonce. It was Beyonce, but it was before she became Beyonce. It was, who was that group she had? Destiny's Child. And they sang a song. Say my name, say my name. And I was in prayer, and I knew the song was talking about her, because I keep my ear to the ground with the young people, so I know what they're out there singing and saying, so I know how to preach to them. I think this is important. We're going to let you go, Leslie. Oh my God, I'm over time. Y'all stop running away from secular things that run viral. Pay attention to them. Don't consume yourself in them, because what's going viral is telling you the message that the world is receiving in general. And now you have the ability, using their known strategy, to show people how this runs contrary to the word, or this supports the word. Throw meat, chew meat, throw bone away. And so at that time, I am struggling to teach the world, knowing my calling, my purpose, the reason for knowing his names. And I was in Psalms 91. And I'm running through and I'm researching all 123 names of Elohim at this time. And when I do this, I'm preparing a message for the masses about the importance of Elohim and what Elohim means. And all the antagonists, Elohim is that means God. That means we're all gods. God is plural in his name. Like, okay, I can't explain it. And as I get done, and I'm in a real soft, tender place with him, is I know his presence is there. And all I heard was similar to the way I heard I'm coming out was, say my name, say my name. And I knew the song was about, you're acting kind of shady. Now, you're not calling me baby. Who's around you? Like, she's talking about some guy she with cheating, and she like, yeah, you talking funny, you moving different, right? And he says, no, don't worry about the rest of that. Just say my name, say my name. And that was the fuel that was the fuel that fired me up to make sure we need to know his name. But it was a secular song I would never listen to, because I knew the backdrop of the artist for the song. Again, a work of the enemy to keep a significant thing away from us. So when you go to church, and I did it on purpose, and I stood up in this one church, because at that time I was, still being, asked to come and speak everywhere. And when I went, I said, trying to be culturally acceptable, still on that PC side. And I'm singing it, I'm preaching, and then I just broke out, because sometimes Yahweh be like, say my name, say my name. And it was funny to watch how the audience was, because one part of the audience did the little church buttock hop. How the church buttock hop, the one where you grab your lapel of your jacket, you pop it down, and you sit back up, and you see like, what did he just say? You pop your lapel and you put yourself on one butt cheek, and then you turn to that side. You're like, okay, y'all don't want to talk to me. And so that took place. And then I got another side like, yo, how he know that song, right? And then someone be like, and the ones that was like, someone be like, that's not a good song. But what's funny was y'all over here doing the buttock hop, but you know the lyrics. At least they over here like, yo, okay, he with us, he rock with us, he knows some of my stuff, right? But y'all little fake people over here. And so the point was, they would never have seen that. But by the time I was done with the message, it's like, oh, now I get it. He wants us to say his name. Pushing us forward to conclude your program today, which we will, I promise to come back and do 61 next week if you'd like me to. Talk to Paige. If you'd like me to, because we do want to get liberation done. Don't think that the enemy of our faith did not know before you were actually pushed forth into the earth that they didn't know you and I were coming, and that they don't know the atmosphere that you would be and the time you'd be coming. So to start painting culture before you enter into it, so that you come into the earth submerged in that culture, that cultural picture that the enemy of faith, principalities, powers, rulers of darkness of this world, and spiritual wickedness in high places has created before you were ever even born, and then you were born into it, that becomes a way that blocks out what God is trying to say. And the enemy of the faith uses the things that Yahweh would need to say to someone like you who don't think that you're worth or valuable or have any real chance at becoming something greater, and are just getting tired of this mundane everyday living and shouting and shirting and ain't nothing happening and doing everything you can do, can't get the loan, can't get the house, can't get the car, can't get the job, don't have the education, don't have the money, all that stuff, and now you just want to end it. Listen, I want you to understand something. When you and I come into faith, sometimes the church can keep us away from the words that have the ability to break us out of the box, because they're associated previously in our life to secularism, which the world we're trying to live now says, be separate from. Those two songs changed everything in my life. Everything in my life. Because in all of my getting, I got understanding. It was the time he spoke those to me. God ain't gonna speak through Beyonce. God ain't gonna speak through Diana Ross. God ain't gonna speak through Rakim. God ain't gonna speak through whatever favorite rapper you had, right? I don't have that testimony. I've had him speak to me more through secular hooks than gospel hymns.
That's true.
Make that a quote. Just know the God you serve. I'm sorry for making this seem so abstract and all over the place, but
I would say that it was very not profound, but when you tapped into the part where you said thinking that things is not going to change. I'm paraphrasing it. And that's something that is key to life experience, is key to where we are and what we're going through, is because we're looking at, and I'm saying we, but looking at the fact that you said the progress I wasn't making. That was a very powerful statement, because we talk about people don't want to live anymore. And part of the fact is because they don't see change
or progress. Yeah.
Progress. And because
of the efforts of doing what people are saying, you got to do this, and you do this, you're going to see God. And I wasn't seeing none of that.
Right.
And it seemed like the more I tried, the more I'd be falling.
Yeah.
And you get frustrated and you fall back into what you confessed you wanted to come out of.
Yeah. Forget it. It ain't working.
It ain't working. So I'm going back to what I know.
What do they say? Oh, I tried that. That don't work. But it does. And it takes the word. I wanted to tell one of my little crazy incidents. You were talking about being self-righteous, pulling the jacket and stuff. And my mom was
you did to my chick. You did to my
Yeah. I'll tell you that.
We go, hey Wanda, I need some IT on this. The buttock hop. That's what we're gonna call it. The Christian buttock hop. Okay.
And my mother had a party when she was living, and I took a chair and sat at the door between the living room and the other room with my Bible, reading my Bible while they were partying. And one of the person at the party told my mom, I'm scared of her. Religious.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they partying and I'm sitting up there reading the word, looking at them with this pious face. And I thought about that when you was talking about just ridiculous things we do. One of the songs, and I'm gonna let you go because you gotta go. But Minister Wanda and I, my sister wrote a book called what is it, Wanda? Burn the box. Oh, and surrender the ashes, the little foxes that spoil the vine. And when you were talking about the box, it came back to mind. And every once in a while, Minister Wanda and I will refer back to that book. But one of the things we've been encouraging people is to understand that they're going to come out, that it's going to change. And Minister Wanda talked about the miracle of having groceries on the steps, different things that if we hold on, you know, if you just allow him, Elohim, to be who he wants to be. That song, believe it or not, that song had to change something in your mind. You know, especially when you heard your wife saying, yeah, I've been hearing that same song. There was a shift that had to take place for everything else to line up.
For me to be where I'm at today.
Yeah.
To see the progress I did not think I was seeing.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't see, y'all hear me say this all the time, because I was looking through the lenses of church.
Right.
I was never looking through the lens of the Torah, which is irregardless of church. Boy, y'all get in trouble if y'all say that in public.
That's so good. That's so good. And what's so amazing is that I've never had the experience of a secular Yahweh talking to me through a secular song, or to Yahweh to use a secular song to remind me of something until this morning when you started talking about the songs. And this is just to confirm what you said, because like I said, I've never had it happen before until this morning. As soon as you said the songs and I knew where you were going, this song, the lyrics to this song popped up because it was one of my favorite songs. And I used to stand in the mirror and sing it because I knew I was Shaka.
That's my girl.
I was Shaka. And I had my brush and I was standing in the mirror and I was singing it. But the lyrics are through the fire.
Through the fire.
To the limit.
To the limit. To the wall.
For a chance.
For a chance.
With you. I'd gladly risk it all.
I'd risk it all. Man, is that a Sabbath song?
That's a Sabbath
song. Is that not a love ballad to Elohim?
Song. Because, and it's true to me, because I literally did that when I began to keep Sabbath. I'm a hairstylist. And Saturday is my biggest day. I curl a little hair. Saturday is my biggest day. And when those lyrics, I'm like, wait a minute, Yahweh. And if I tell you how he's been dealing with me in the year of 2025 about Sabbath and the importance of keeping Sabbath. And then the next part of it says, I'd gladly risk it all through the fire, through whatever
comes
what may, for a chance at loving you. I take it all the way, right down to the wire.
To the wire.
Even through the fire. And the hell fire that I went through at my other church when I started keeping Sabbath, the ridicule, the making fun of me, and all of that, right down to the wire. Even through the fire, but I'd risk it all just at a chance of loving you. Nobody can take Sabbath away from me now because it's my place. It's my way of loving him. Man, that's just confirmation that he talks to you outside.
Outside.
Would you tell us thinking outside of the box? He just confirmed it to y'all. So don't be rebuking we called it the worldly stuff. He just proved it to me this
He
morning.
uses it.
Come on.
Wait a minute. That happened for you through a testimony. We overcome by the
Word
blood of the Lamb
and the
Yes.
word of our
of our testimony. And if we
Yes.
don't sit and have those legitimate testimonies and not those testalies and fake novels we build about ourselves and these fake documentaries we make about ourselves and just tell the truth of what we experience, that triggers in the next person. It triggers in the and then like you can't make this up. You Shaka's my girl.
Listen.
I used to love hot butterflies. Hot butterflies is my thing.
Listen. Because that was me and my best friend. That it was the hook
Yeah,
that was
it's the
in
hook.
me. To the fire. I
Yeah.
was gonna be Shaka.
Yeah.
And when he brought that to my mind this morning, I'm like, no, what is that about? And then I started thinking about the words. I'm like, that's Sabbath. That's me. That's my testimony. Y'all, if I could put what Sabbath means to me in words,
Yeah.
that song does it.
Yeah, no, and there are many, many more. I mean, I laugh because I was sitting here and I was about to tell you about my story with the song, one of my favorite male artists of the world was Luther Vandross, and he sang a song that was everybody knows was a romantic song. I think all my children are probably conceived behind Luther being in the background. I'm just gonna say it is what it is. there was one song and we all instantly know is about romanticizing, whether married or fornicatively. If only for one night your eyes say things I never hear from you, and my knees are shaking too, but I'm willing to go through. That phrase fortified I know the people gonna listen to this, Prophetess Leslie, and say, I'm never listening to that man. Your pastor, your Mr. Apostle man. When he on, don't tell me he coming. I know they're gonna say it, but listen. I was wanting to know Sabbath. And that song, that's when I tried it. When I heard that song, if only for one night, your eyes said things I've never heard from you in church. And my knees, I'm on them. They're shaking too. But I'm willing to go through. Now, y'all be like, you just changed the song and you don't hate it. You just like them people. Who them people that was fussing with for a long time? Kirk Franklin. You done changed the words and made it secular. Yeah, okay, whatever. But I'm standing.
Yes, that's
mine was the closer I get to you.
tough.
Hey, what? Shoot, reunited. And it feels so good.
So many of them, I'll be like, that's where we're supposed to be singing.
But the other part of that song of Luther is I must be crazy.
I must be crazy standing in this
place. Come on.
And watch this. And I'm feeling no dismay.
Come on now.
But I'm asking, man, listen, y'all, look. See, remember that thing that went viral some years back, maybe 10, 12 years ago when the internet first came through, and it was with Bishop Love. I think he was out of the Kojic Church, and he was singing the love songs. You know what I mean? Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, Yahweh.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Y'all remember that? Did y'all remember that thing? And then he flipped into another song. He did like this medley. and the caption was, it's not what you're singing, it's who you're singing it to.
Yes.
And because of our religious being at the party, reading the Bible, looking, like the bodyguard of God, acting like we Jesus.
Self-righteous.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You must have looked like Jesus' baby sister. Uh, there go Jesus' sister right there. So Prophetess Leslie, take your program back over, child, because I gotta go preach.
Yes, you do. Would you like to just go ahead and close us out?
No, because I'm gonna start singing. No.
Woo. We do want to thank everybody for being here. We hope that through all of this that you really got the message, and to hold on and don't neglect the fact that Yahweh uses what he's made and created. And there's some things that we do with our own self, and I'm saying self-righteousness, trying to be holier than thou, we neglect. I just want I kind of said that wrong. I just want you to know that Yahweh will use what he needs to use to get your attention. And today, if you didn't receive anything else, understand to hold on. And that maybe what you're going through, he's trying to use something in that to really get your attention. I was going to, I'm going to let Apostle close out. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to let Apostle close out. Thank you, Apostle. I will get with Elder Page and see when you can come back on. But it was important that people understand that life is not over, that life is just beginning.
And if you're in it, to dovetail with what Prophetess Leslie and Minister Wanda are presenting today, if you're in life, then you're for this time of life. You just have not been submitted to his guiding light.
Real quick, I see Elder Page put in there, hold on, change is going to come. I thought about the preacher's wife when they were singing, hold on, what's it? Hold on, help is on the way.
Yeah.
So Apostle, close us out.
It's important. Well, listen, guys, for those of you who don't know, please, Leslie's Lessons Learned with Minister Elder Wanda L. Floyd and Prophetess Leslie Montgomery have been a blessing to more people than will admit. Continue to view in and listen to the words of wisdom that they are putting forward from the Torah and making practical in your everyday lives. So let's approach the Father. Yahweh, you shifted this. We came with a program that has been months trying to get concluded. And whoever the persons are that needed to hear, though they themselves wanted to remove themselves from this world, we call that suicide. We know that you have given some sense of hope that they now can turn towards you and now know that some of the things that they wouldn't listen to was actually you trying to get them to hear you, because that's all they had in their repertoire and tool bag that you could use to get their attention. But the ridicule and the self-righteousness of our church education has caused us to say, oh, that's not you. So, Father, in all of our getting, help us. We pray you, Yahweh, our Elohim, to get understanding. So we're asking, hold us tight, please. And I know you're a gentleman, so you're not going to just take over someone and grab them up by the collar unless they give you permission to do so. But for those who are wandering, searching for your hand in the darkness, if there's any way this program could have given and shined any light in the direction to where your hand is extended, please help them to see your hand and then hold on to its unchanging abilities in their lives, that it would change their lives. You're the same yesterday, today, and forever. You never change. We did. Help us to see the change of our wins and hold on to the anchor that is your hand, i.e., your word. Now, Yahweh, we pray the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts in this moment have been to some degree acceptable in your sight, Yahweh. You alone are our strength. Alone are our Redeemer. And we bless you for this in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Now may Yahweh bless you all and keep you. May Yahweh make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May Yahweh lift his countenance upon you and grant you all 13 attributes of his shalom. This we pray in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Apostle.
Shalom aleichem.
End of Isaiah, the last end of 58 says, "For the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it." This was from Yahweh to you, each and every one of you, that you might continue on and know that he has not forgotten about you. Have an amazing rest of the week and be blessed.